Hey everybody. Well, I'm back from Florida. Great wedding. Really like a lot to do there. So it was actually pretty exhausting at the same time, but it went off without a hitch, I would say. So thank you for your well wishes and everything. I don't know, why not obligatory um, you know, look see at what went on. There's the it's actually my photo right here, so that's why nobody's looking into the camera, but that's my son right there, and that's his new bride, and that's my other son. He's the best man. So yeah, so everything went off great. There it is, and so we now entered. Now we're now in this last week. I hope you guys had a good Fourth of July weekend. I'm actually recording this on the 4th because I'm old and a nerd, and we're actually gonna go see fireworks later, probably in the Hoboken, Jersey City area. My daughter goes to school. So right now I'm just going to basically provide some. I'm sorry, I'm still a little tired if I sound a little draggy, but I'm going to provide some just kind of some last minute reminders and reinforcements. But also to remind you about the grading system here, because these last two assignments actually do count more. Okay. And actually I should have this again in the student view. All we have to do that's left is actually watch this video. And we have the rewrite for the feature assignment. Okay, I know there were a bunch of A's on that. People did very well on that. So I appreciate that. I think the main thing with that, again, is just to make sure that you have, I mean, I know that they're going to be really it wasn't really an issue with like really starting off the story. Pretty much 99% of the papers, it was just, and having a nut graph. I think one of the big issues was just having like a really long quote and basically learning how to paraphrase that quote. So, that's a reminder I've provided a bunch of times. So just make sure that you have, you know, that you have like an actual narrative. You actually use your own writing and don't rely too heavily on the quotations, direct quotations, because sometimes the way people speak directly, I know you tell people to write the way they speak, but at the same time, not too much like they speak. You want to be able to write in a way that actually is easier to read. Okay. And sometimes when people talk, it could be kind of broken. It can be kind of a stream of consciousness. All right. So, if you want, this is a reminder, basically, if you have a quote, and I mean, I could even provide like another example here. A long quote. Okay. Yeah, see, I mean, usually they kind of look like that, and those are usually hard to read. Okay, so you want something that basically is paraphrased till maybe it looks like it's half of that, and then maybe part of that is actually put into direct quotes, the colorful part of the quotation. Okay, but just when people actually see that long paragraph, they immediately get turned off. Okay, so just a reminder again about how things. If you go back to the modules here, you see actually again I put all the assignments in here too, and I mean we're in this phase obviously, but if you go back weeks, probably about a month, right, to what I called my rubric, which is not your conventional rubric, but it's the rubric and grading on the week 2, June 6th. Again, the different criteria for how everything gets graded, but then got to remember that actually again the 5th assignment, which is actually the feature assignment, will be 20% of your writing grade, so it counts twice as much as each of these previous assignments. The major assignment is 40% of your grade, okay, of your writing grade. Okay, and again the writing grade is 70% of your total grade. Okay, so this is these last two assignments is 60% of your writing grade. So, I mean, again, the idea is that I'm grading on progress here. So you should really have this down by now. Okay. I mean, I would say 90 to 95% of the class does. So again, if I actually did I'm not asking people to do this, but I actually had a a Zoom session with one of our class members today, or I should say today. Today is July 4th. Again, I'm recording this, but I said, hey, why not, right? So we actually talked. She lives in Norway, so she doesn't celebrate the 4th here there. So, you know, I mean, I'm ready to go pretty much any time. I'm actually going to be playing a softball game on the night of the 7th, so I probably won't be around for that. But like last minute questions like that. But you really should have everything done before then, really. Okay. And of course, that also brings me to, again, now the major assignment. I really strongly urge that you send me a rough draft ahead of time. Okay. See, Christina did that. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I was just been signing off on some of these. I mean, just basically just saying that, you know, good enough. That's good. You know, it has what I was looking for. Okay. And, you know, one of the questions I got was, should this have an anecdotal lead or a straight lead? That's your choice. I had, I think, at least one person send me a rough draft that had an anecdotal lead on it. And then I had another, but mostly I've had just straight leads. Okay. A couple people are doing this topic. Again, this, you know, let people just basically do topics that can duplicate with others, but that's fine. But New Jersey residents say they're displeased with the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade, saying the decision violates people's personal rights. So, I mean, it's not every New Jersey resident. It's not a scientific poll, but it provides some sort of a slice of that, okay? Some sort of glimpse into how people feel in New Jersey. And actually, I would say that probably is how people generally feel in New Jersey, regardless of how you stand on the issue, okay? Now, this first transition basically talks about how, you know, the decision infringes on individuals' right to make decisions for themselves. That's how some residents feel, you know, or many. And then she goes into the anecdotes, what we got right here. And then, I mean, that could be, you know, in this kind of situation, you know, like I say, you want to try maybe to cite somebody's personal experience. I mean, not everybody necessarily has a personal experience here. This particular person said that, actually it was down here, May Goldschmidt said that basically the decision infringes on her Jewish religion rights as a Jewish person. I mean, that's a personal experience, obviously. But I mean, when I talk about anecdotes, it also could be just somebody's perspective on the law and what it should be. Like this one right here, Lewis specified these cases include, you know, Eric Liu, member, blah, 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 expressed concern about recent overturn, how it could, you know, waiting to review other cases, you know, Griswold versus Connecticut, which I believe is the contraceptive law. That sort of thing. Could be somebody's personal thoughts on the subject. But again, it's transition, okay, infringes on people's rights, anecdote, you know, perhaps more anecdote, which is fine, and then a quote. It scares me to think that if I become pregnant when I'm not ready to have a baby, I won't have a choice but to go through it. That's a good, I mean, it's an awful thing to think about, but it's a colorful quote. It's something that's kind of relatable, that sort of thing. Again, this was something that was just sent to me as an opportunity, as you can see right here. I sent to my email. This is what you should do, and basically give me an opportunity to look over it, you know, and then basically like tell you if you're going in the right direction. I'm not going to edit it fully, but I'm going to tell you if you're going in the right direction. So far, every one that's been sent to me has been going in the right direction. So, I mean, I think one of the concerns about this major assignment is probably the term major assignment. It is obviously a major assignment, 40% of your writing grade, but at the same time, it's really, the way it's written is really not really different than what we've been doing already. As you can see, it's just longer. Okay, I had people, you know, those topics we did before in this class, you know, the tobacco ban at Rutgers, you know, the weather. I mean, those were like kind of like either general broad topics or maybe very kind of small localized topics that don't necessarily need like a ton of different perspectives on it. But I'm having you guys actually write topics about like people's reaction to Roe versus Wade and that sort of thing. Somebody's writing about a reaction to a mass shooting. So that's probably the kind of subject that maybe would like require like multiple perspectives in a longer story, because just a topic that has maybe so many different more perspectives. Weather is usually kind of like black or white. People have one feeling or the other, you know. So that's why I'm asking for a longer story of 7 to 9 people to talk for it. So that's really the difference. Otherwise, it's just written the same and it's reported the same. Okay, you know, basically you have your transitions, your anecdotes, and your quotes. Okay, all right. So that again is due at the end of the day on July 7th, and then we're done. You know, I should have your grades because I've been cranking out these grades and this grading like as quickly as possible, so you guys have something to you have time to work on them because we have such a short term here. You know, I expect to have things turned around very quickly. So, you know, as far as your final grades are concerned, okay. Easily probably by the early next week, or probably even maybe over the weekend for all I know. So, all right. So that's really it again, guys. So I'll be doing one more lecture, which will be on Thursday. Just maybe like more on the major assignment, but then, you know, just basically saying goodbye and basically, you know, saying more of the same. So, all right, just reminding people again that it's probably won't be late too. I mean, it won't be too late on Thursday to send me a rough draft. All right, guys, I'll be talking to you, and thanks very much.